Tres.
Okay, we are online. Hello, Diego. Hello, Tamara. How are you?
I'm fine.
Very well, thank you. And you?
Okay. Hello, everybody. So, welcome to the special edition of Sala de Bate-Papo, não, Diego? of the Portuguese Teacher in Finland Association. So we are today in a special live. We are promoting the huge Latin American film festival Cinemaissí, founded in 2005, which aims to promote appealing, provoking, and novel Latin American cinema in Finland. Through the film screens, conversations, the festival has created a platform for the understanding, enjoyment, and debate of Latin American culture, politics, and society. And today, our Sala de Bate-Papo, so now I'm going to, when I'm making English, I'm going to do this Sala de Bate-Papo. We have the honor to receive in our space Diego Ginartes, the producer, and Támara Aalto, artist director of the 17th edition of Cinemaissí, which will be between 26 and 30 of October. So thank you for accepting our invitation, Diego and Tamara. Welcome. Okay.
Obrigado por convite.
Okay, muito bem, obrigada. Yes. So let's start. Let's start about to discuss the conception of Cinemaissí of in this edition, please.
I think Tamara has more things to say because she's the brain behind the concept of the.
Okay.
Well, the concept of this edition, our main theme is called Hidden Heroes, and it's because we want to pay tribute to people who has faced difficult situations, and in order to gather the strength and the resilience, they have somehow survived, and they have changed the course of history.
Okay.
And somehow we want to recognize this kind of valuable small changes that people has been doing through this history in terms, because there are sometimes many people that are hidden heroes around us and we don't even know, and they are completely unknown and not recognizable. And somehow in the films, in the selection of the films that we have gathered this year, we can see these hidden heroes.
Okay. Wow. And which countries are represented this field in this edition?
So we have one film from Brazil, one film.
Yes, we're going to talk about.
One from Costa Rica, two from Chile, and
we have from Mexico, and we also have some from Mexico. We have two actually, and one feature and one short, and we even have like a movie made by a Finnish filmmaker that is
it's in Nicaragua. In Nicaragua. Yeah, because we have a session. We have feature films, like long feature films, and then we have one session of short films where Latin American Finnish filmmakers have done different short films, and some of them are filmed in Latin America and some of them here. So it's somehow kind of like the topic is new life in the super unknown. So it's people that are remembering their past with nostalgia and trying to survive their future living in Finland.
Okay. And yes, this is I have so curiosity about this. How was the criteria to select these films in the festival? How was the criteria?
Well, I have to say, well, this is my second year as artistic director, and always I find it really challenging and really fascinating to kind of immerse yourself into the films that are done in the last 2 years in Latin America. So somehow in the beginning, you just do a lot of research, like what kind of films are out there. You start to watch films, and the topic comes afterwards. Somehow the selection starts like in an intuitive way, like what kind of topics, what kind of new things are bringing the filmmakers into the big screen, and what could be worthy to show in Finland as something really different that is not used to be shown here. So it's kind of the process, I would say, in my case, is a bit intuitive. And then somehow once we decide, okay, there are these films that are really worthy to see, what is the connection between these films? And we find the link. And in this case, with these films was Hidden Heroes. So somehow it's difficult to put the theme before you have seen anything. It's like you choose some films.
To arrange the,
yeah, somehow it comes along once you see many films and you do the research and what could be important, like what could be worthy to show in Finland. So
of course you have to think about the Finnish people, how the expectation about especially Finnish, because it's here, right?
Yeah, but also kind of one of the goals is like to break the stereotypes in the way of like, we are not trying to please people, we are just trying to show something that is different in terms of filmmaking and in terms of like what are the stereotypes that they are looking for when they go and see a film from a specific nationality. Like we are trying to show like different visions, because there are sometimes kind of like a vision of how it's supposed to be certain people from certain area, and we try to show something that they are not so used to, and we can somehow break stereotypes in that way.
Yeah, and it's difficult to offer for in common for everybody, no? It's And last year was online, right? Because of the part of online, and now what's the expectation about this post-pandemic? How you manage this?
Yeah, we're expecting, we're already receiving a lot of requirements, like people is really active in terms of buying tickets already, and we are expecting like to bring together the community, not only the Latin American community, not only like migrants living here or with a background from Latin America and Portuguese and Spanish backgrounds, in terms of Portuguese and Spanish speaking background.
Yes.
But so like to bring together like Finnish community, and the response is being like surprisingly positively, really positive in that way. I think after 2 years of pandemic, and the people is already a bit tired of being at home watching movies, and they just want to be together, and you can feel it not only on cinema theaters, but also in other kind of events, that they just want to be together because they have been separate for 2 years, and cinema is a nice possibility to be in a common space, sharing feelings, emotions, and watching something that you can share afterwards with a nice bate-papo.
Yes, it's totally different atmosphere, right? When you go to the cinema, there is different atmosphere. Exactly.
And from previous experience with other, like in Helsinki, with other cultural events, you can see, like for example with Colibri, it has been a huge success in that terms, because they gather a lot of people, and the expectations were like much higher of what they think. And like in cinema also, I think Love and Anarchy have had a really good numbers of audience in those, and the people just wanted to be together, just wanted to go outside, wanted to watch cinema and watch this most of them new voices and also like new narratives that Tamara was mentioning. And from our side, it's also a good opportunity to show. It's a unique possibility to watch a film that is not gonna be shown again in Finland. So among our film program, we have 10 movies, 9 feature films, and like 5 shorts. So in total, 14 movies. And all of step 1, the rest are finished premieres. And the most probably thing is like it's not gonna be another opportunity to watch them. So I think we are excited about gathering people and also having the possibility of doing something unique. And like it's gonna happen next week, and it's not gonna happen again. And also like the feeling of being together. It's really important for this festival. The feeling of community. So those are really important and relevant factors for us, and even more after these 2 years of that something happened.
Excited about this.
We are excited, happy, and really positive towards the audience coming to the cinemas.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I love the brochure, the poster. So how was this? The idea to create this, like, it's really kind of cinema, Wow, it's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The person behind is Paul Solsonas. He was also the graphic designer of Cinemaissí 2015. And this year, when we started with a working group and also with the board of Cinemaissí, we decided that it would be a good idea to keep like a more let's say elegant design and like a bit more wider, and also what Tamara was saying is like break stereotypes of Latin American culture. And in that way, we talked with Paul, and we agree in this fantastic time and the possibility of continuing with this image with some difference for the next 2 years. So we can keep a solid and recognizable image for the next at least 2 years, 3 years, and convince those mostly Finnish or not Finnish, or those people that they don't feel related, but like after a couple of years they see, oh, this is Cinemaissí. It's really similar that I have seen before, and the next year it's gonna be
create an identity.
Exactly.
Uma identidade, né?
So that was our aim. We are really happy because it has this relation also with credits and all this film imaginary related to cinema. So it's quite straight, the idea that you can get from the poster and the image. So we are really happy, really happy about.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So are you inviting some filmmaker, producer, director for the festival? So
well, our wish has been like to really invite people from the other side of the sea. We have this year filmmakers that are based in Finland. Hopefully in the next years we could invite filmmakers that are living outside Finland, because in terms of budget, well, we couldn't really invite. But hopefully next year. And also because this year is kind of a trial, how it works after 2 years of COVID, like how is the response of the audience coming to the cinemas again. So also that was kind of like
but anyhow, we have also like for the shorts, we have the filmmakers. We have the Finnish filmmaker Kati Kallio, that she has been involved with dance films for a really long time, and also she was the artistic director of Loika, the dance film festival. We have Rosa Maria Bolon, that is like an eminence here within the Latin American community, working not only in the hair artistic world, but also in different communities and associations.
Yeah, and activism.
In activism and feminist activism. We are going to have Natalia Castrillon and Sergio Castrillon, that they are really renowned musicians that have been working here in Finland for a really long time. And Paola Guzman Figueroa, that is a really young filmmaker with a lot of talent. Further than that, we are going to have also like a series of panel discussions with guests from here that brings up
kind of conversations that are really important to put out there to see how people react, and also to have a space, like a safe space, to talk about things that matters, and also that are kind of current topics and also related with the films. Like, for example, we have one film called Finlandia, and it's talking about cultural appropriation. So we have this panel talking about where are the limits of fiction in order to tell stories when we are talking about certain communities, and also what does it mean, actually, the term cultural appropriation, and how important it is to be kind of aware of that. And this panel, we will have it with Rosa Maria Bolón, that is actually one of the filmmakers in the short film session, but also with
Diana Soria, that is a performer,
and a visual artist,
amazing performer,
and with Violeta,
Violeta Guzman, that also is a feminist activist. And then we have the panel discussion about.
We have two more. One is we have one film from Guatemala that we haven't mentioned previously. It's a documentary. We will have a panel with Florencia Quesada and Mikael Wolfors. Mikael is a filmmaker that has been working in some films related with the past of Guatemala, and Florencia is working in the university and is expert on the topic. So they will be talking about this difficult period in Guatemala, that there was a dictatorship, and there was one of many that was working as a mole. So he was risking his life in order to transfer information. And it's kind of like a spy film, but it's a documentary. So it's kind of super amazing and interesting to see, like the real life sometimes is more surprising than fiction. That we are used to see fiction films like, wow, and a spy and stuff.
Yes,
and actually a documentary of someone that was risking his life, and someone that you can see there and how he was doing stuff. So it's even more impressive than to see a fiction film about the spies. Like, who cares about fiction films about the spies if you really get to see someone that has been doing that real? So that's
really the real one, yes. And
No, I was talking that we have the third panel discussion with Teivo.
Yeah, we have another one after the film called My Imaginary Country from Patricia Guzman, and they will
be a conversation about the film.
Yeah, exactly, with a former diplomatic and Teivo Teivanet. That's global politics also. So sometimes I think guests from abroad.
We have many people that are.
Yes, it is. You have already here what you want.
Yeah, with Latin America, and that's
And we'll be concentrate. I was reading the site is not only in Helsinki, right? We have something in Tampere, in Oulu, right? What is? Can you say tell me about this? So.
Yeah, we have
Tampere and Oulu, right?
Yeah, before the festival, we have it's the second time that we have screenings in Oulu, in collaboration with Oulu Matagalpa
Association,
and also Oulu Elokubakeskus, and we have screened there Carajita, from Dominican Republic, and the Silence of the Mole. So it has been quite well. Half of them, the cinema theater was full, And I mean, for something that is the second year and they are not like, they don't know that much the Latin American festival happening in Helsinki. So for us, we take it as a really positive data. We are gonna have Helsinki, and then on 4th and 7th we are gonna screen My Imaginary Country, and I Have Electric Dreams in Niagara Art House Cinema in Tampere. And it's gonna be the first time that it happens, and let's see how it goes and what is the feeling of the Tampere
audience, of course.
This is in collaboration with Niagara, that they really open their arms. It's like, yes, let's do it and let's see how it happens. And we really know that they really bet for art house and independent cinema, and like another no dominant or conventional cinematography narrative. So for us, it's also a really good point to move forward. Let's see this year and
okay.
The next one.
Yeah, I guess the aim of Cinemaissí would be to spread somehow and to get more screenings in other cities. So somehow you can show Latin American films in other cities as well.
Yeah, as far as I understood from last year online program, it was quite, it has really successful, like outside Helsinki. So there is a need of watching something different farther than the capital area.
Yes. All right. Muito bem, muito bem. So let's talk about on Friday about the finished premiere of Brazilian film Fogaréu. The screening of the film will be on Friday, 28th of October, 9 o'clock. I will be there, of course. So let's talk about the film Fogaréu. So why Fogaréu? So let's please.
Well, I have to say, Fogaréu is one of my favorites. One of my 3 favorites. And well, it's really impressive film. It was a screen. The premiere of this film was in Berlinale. That is one of the most famous festivals in Europe. And well, the thing is that Fogaréu tells the story about Fernanda, that is a woman that wants to come back to her village where she was born, and she wants to discover some kind of hidden secrets that are in the family. And the curious thing about this film, one of the many curious things about it, is that it's based partly in the true story of the director, Flavia Neves. Well, I don't know if I am pronouncing well, sorry, but it's based on her own story, and somehow with this story is kind of trying to tell something about the past of Brazil as well, and some of the hidden secrets, and also about colonialism, and also about, in this case, she's coming back to her village, and her family is from upper class. So it's about like the hidden secrets of an upper class family living there. So it's really impressive, and also comparing with other films from the program, it comes with other kind of genre. It's more like a thriller and has some kind of horror glimpses. It's not horror, but somehow kind of. So it's really different from the others, and really, really beautiful at the same way. So I thought it was worthy to show it, like, because it's also different from other films that we have had from Brazil in previous editions.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Muito bem. So now the space is yours, and yes, and then please, so tell us what comments or about the opening. So there is an opening, yes. So please, can you tell us about the opening? And
yeah, the opening is gonna be on Wednesday, 26th, and the movie will start at 7 o'clock. Is the Chilean movie La vaca que cantó una canción hacia el futuro, or The Cow That...
Como, Diego? Como the name? ¿Cómo?
La vaca que cantó una canción hacia el futuro. It sounds like the name of an album of a band or something like that.
Sí, sí, sí.
Like a really appealing name.
Okay.
Tamara I think Tamara can say more about the movie.
Yes.
Well, always it's kind of tricky to choose the opening film, like, because it's like all the films are really good in its own way. But well, this was the chosen one because somehow it's looking more towards the future. Like, we are used maybe to see a lot of films talking about past and how bad things were made and how we could change those things. But in this case, it's a bit different because it's looking towards the future and it's trying to send a message related with ecologism, like family relations, and kind of like hopeful message and how we can change those things. But it's a really special film because it's something that is difficult to see in Finland. This kind of genre is magical realism. It's telling a story that, well, just on the very beginning and all the synopsis that you can read around, I'm not spoiling anything. It's just a woman that is appearing in a river. It's kind of coming from the death. She was
Wow.
and she appears in a river full of dead fish, and she's going to look for her family. And we don't know why and what she's going to do. So there are a lot of beautiful images about nature, about animals, and about how human behavior is treating those things that are surrounding us. And then we see how she behaves with her own family. And yeah, it's some film that you can have many interpretations about it. And I am sure, like many people, when we come out from the cinema, we'll have a lot to say and to ask and to talk with others. And it would be really interesting to see the reaction. So I hope.
Yeah, it will be on Wednesday, the opening.
Wednesday.
Also, this film another time on Saturday at 4 in Kino Engel.
Okay, and so tell us about where you can buy the ticket or online. So please use the space.
We have our website that is super nice. Yeah, we have the website Cinemaissí, www.cinemaissí.com, and then you have a category that say tickets, and there is like discount for pensioners, unemployed people, and employees and students for €8, and also you have a pack of five tickets for €40, and the normal ticket is night 50. So I think it's quite an affordable price for such a
comparing to the mainstream cinemas,
the average cinema. So festival will happen from Wednesday to Sunday, and on Saturday we are gonna be in Kino Engel. And we are gonna have the conversations, and
also we have La Gran Fiesta on Saturday.
Okay. Muito bem.
We have La Gran Fiesta that starts at 8, but
you can come along after the last screening on Saturday. We have a screening. I Have Electric Dreams. It's really worth it, that film. So after the screening, you can go with your friends, chat about the film, take some margaritas, dance a bit, have the feeling.
La Gran Fiesta is in López in Teurastamo, and I mean it lasts until 2, so there is time, there is room for watching films and going to La Gran Fiesta.
Oh my God, yeah. So
you are very well.
So I wish successful, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, and we'll be there, of course, especially on Friday. And then let's see if I'm going to the end.
It's just one
way. Don't miss, people. We are here to don't miss, enjoy, and thank you so much for this moment.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Obrigado aí pela oportunidade.
Obrigada. Okay. Bye bye.
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 Just